Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Goa Ahead. And the issue that we are discussing this week about the new virus scare and Goa's peak tourist season. We are in December, the peak of Goa's tourist season, and suddenly when everybody was expecting that the charter flights would resume, the flow of tourists would increase, there is a new virus scare. What are the health implications of this? What are the economic implications of this? And whether the two can go hand in hand. I have two eminent panelists with me in studio. Joining me is President of Travel and Tourism Association of Goa, Nilesh Shah. Nilesh Bab, welcome. And joining me online is renowned doctor, Dr. Chitralekha Nayak. Chitralekha, welcome. Before I go to the guests now, let us look at what is the tourist situation pre-COVID and post-COVID. Let us see the numbers and then go to our guests. So, just as a first look, let us see how the number of tourists before and after. So, if you see in 2018, 2019 and 2020, the number of tourists, the total was 80 lakhs, and in 2020 it came down to 29 lakhs, and in 2021 till June it is only 16 lakhs. If you see the foreign tourists from 9,33,000 to 9,37,000, which was a constant in 2018 and 2019, and then it drops down to 300,000 in 2020 and merely 16,000 till June 2021, and that's the pre-COVID, post-COVID situation as far as Goa's tourism industry is concerned. Then let us see the charter flights that landed in Goa, and most importantly, these are the good quality tourists that come in. The number of charter flights in 17-18 was 981, bringing in 2,47,000 tourists. In 18-19 it was 813, 2,18,000 tourists, and in 19-20 it was 625, bringing in 169,000 tourists. The point is, we are talking about resuming the charter traffic. We are talking about tourism industry somehow getting back on its feet, and then there is this virus scare and the restrictions that are coming in. Doctor, I'll start with you. You have gone through the first phase, then you went through the second phase, and a very, very difficult second phase. You have treated patients, you are still treating patients with COVID. What would be your advice at this point of time with whatever limited material and data available about the Omicron?
See, Pramod, with the data which is coming from the South Africa and WHO, at this stage, as far as India is concerned, there is no need. It has been actually an international hype in the last 8 days. I will tell you the medical literature later on, but we have managed the first variant very well in initial period, that is from December 2020, because that time also China had detected the first variant, and obviously in that first 8 days no one had panicked so much.
Yeah.
In the second wave also we never panicked. The second wave was a really horrible wave, and yes, we have gone through that a big way. Even after we were not, the majority of population was not vaccinated. So when now we have a major chunk of the population vaccinated, it is not, we should not be hyped about that there has been a new variant which has come in South Africa, and yes, it is highly transmissible, but if we can manage Delta variant well, we can very well manage the new variant well. Yes, provided we take certain precautions which we have not seen in the second wave. The second wave we were very complacent, and we had to we actually had to face the consequences as far as the drainage of the health resources was concerned. So obviously the government's economy also actually was affected because so much of health resources was used. We health professionals were also too drained in treating patients. We have lost our loved ones, and obviously at this stage, as far as health matters is concerned, we should not be complacent. If a new virus is supposed to, it is come, and it will come actually if the transmission, if it is very transmissible, by January it should come in India, but that this is the good time for us to prepare ourselves how to manage this situation if it comes in India.
Okay, this is a very
So
interesting point.
initially,
Yeah. Yes, I'll come to the second part of it later on, but I'll take Nilesh and then I'll come to you.
yeah.
Nilesh, how is industry looking at this? Because this is a very tricky situation again. We are all surprised by the kind of reaction that has been given in spite of a lot of population being vaccinated this time and the experience of Delta, as Dr. also nicely called it, the international hype. But ultimately that hype takes a toll because it are coming restrictions which are very stringent, from institutional quarantine to RT-PCR tests at the airport. How is industry looking at it? And moreover, when probably you are hoping that the charter tourism will resume again.
One thing is very clear, that we are staying in the challenging times, and the COVID appropriate behavior is only way forward. That set aside, I personally feel, we are reacting too much, as doctor, it was thanks to doctor that she clarified. I feel there are a lot of politics involved in this, unnecessary, being election time around. Each state wants to prove that they are first in, saying that we were doing the precautions and all those type of things. Now, if you take classic example is of Maharashtra. Now, all of a sudden, they are saying for 48 hours you require test for domestic tourists to come in. Means a person from Indian origin, suppose from Goa, he's come from Mumbai on holiday to Goa and then he's going back to his hometown. He has to do the test, that also in 48 hours. Now, some places there is 72 hours. Just now I got the news that they have withdrawn that circular. So, I think there is a lot of chaos. So, one thing is that for tourism industry, there has to be a one protocol throughout India. Of course, there can be exceptional if the cases goes up or the situation changes. But as of now, I'll give you statistics, we are at all time low. We are below 1 lakh cases. I think this is almost after more than 500 days. We are almost 1 lakh cases, below 1 lakh cases.
Active cases.
Active cases.
Yeah.
Addition to that, the additions are also maximum is from Kerala, that is 5,000 plus. So that there is a growth. It was 9,000 active cases which we have added up, but in that 5,000 plus is from Kerala, which is constant for quite some time. Looking in that scenario, in fact, we should be more positive about the things, opening up of more industry, verticals of the tourism. But unfortunately, because of this new variant, they have not come our shores yet. But we have already started doing a panic. As doctor said, of course, we need to do precautions. We have learned to do business with COVID around, and we'll have to evolve as the days come. But let's not panic, and let's remain positive about things. And I think we have handled, if you compare with any world norms, we have controlled, or we have behaved far more better. It may be the infection in COVID or vaccination than other countries. So I think let's remain positive, and I'm sure we'll able to handle it quite well, and it will not have impact on economy as we had on the first wave or second wave.
Before I go back to doctor, let us look at one more data set, and that data set is regarding the countries where Omicron is found till now, number of cases detected in Russia and UK from where we are expecting the charters, and last 10 days of COVID data as far as our own state is concerned. So let's start with the countries where Omicron has been found. So these are the countries, and see that the number is increasing with every passing day. And although the cases look like 1, 2, 4, 14, 13, 77 and the kind of numbers, the list of the countries where it is getting found is increasing with every passing hour. So that's the situation right now, the number of countries where Omicron is found. The next, we are going to say about the number of cases detected, the overall COVID cases in UK and Russia. And from last 3 months, from 30th September, if you see Russia, the new cases on that day was 23,330. The deaths 849. It went sizably up. On 30th October, the cases of 39,203 and almost 1,131 deaths on that day. And 30th November, although the new cases statistics has come down, the number of deaths have gone up. UK, you can very clearly see in September, it was 35,000 cases, 137 deaths on that day. On 30th October, over 40,000 plus cases, 166 deaths, and 30th November, 39,000 or close to 40,000 cases again, and 159 deaths. So similar kind of data as far as UK is concerned, although we can see very clearly the deaths rising in Russia. As far as the cases are concerned, they are in the same bracket zone. As far as UK is concerned, the data over a period of last 3 months is more or less very constant. The next data is about Goa and the last 10 days of COVID. So if you see here, the death rate has been very low, 1 or 2 deaths or no deaths at all. Recoveries have also been constant, and as far as the cases are concerned, they have also remained more or less constant. So what happens next, I think, and the way we handle this situation is going to determine where that graph goes. So, Doctor, I'll straight away come to you. When you look at this data, and when you look at especially Europe and Russia, and we are talking about inviting tourists from those countries, is it advisable, or would you caution against it?
No, at this stage, if you ask me, international travel restriction, if proper guidelines are given and if testing is done very strictly, and if isolation is advised by the at the airport, then I think we can allow influx of international tourists at this stage. Now, this data promote, if you look at it, at least if you observe the Goa data, whether the cases are lesser and the deaths are less. Now, the implication of this data is that the current variant which is circulating in India is Delta variant. So, any variant of any virus, okay, will be highly virulent and highly transmissible in the initial few months. So, Delta variant was detected way in early, that is in January 2021. After around a 3-month rise of the wave, now the efficacy of or the virulence of the Delta wave in causing severe infections has lessened. So what we are seeing are less number of cases. Even if there is definitely crowding in and around Goa, we are seeing Goans not wearing, not behaving, not using masks. We are seeing COVID inappropriate behavior from our citizens. But in spite of this, we are not finding a surge in cases at this stage, is only because the wave or the variant has become less virulent. Now, why UK is seeing lot of cases, they are not Omicron cases, they are Delta variants or other variants which are locally circulating in UK, is because of 2 reasons. One is there has been no stricter, till now there were no domestic stricter restrictions in UK per se, plus what was the variant in UK, India obviously has traveled to UK, that is Delta variant, and that Delta variant is causing so much of infections and deaths. So, if a wave has to come, not now, this is one variant, next there will be another variant. So, the variant is always initially highly virulent, and probably that is the reason why the WHO has warned the countries to take precautions early, is because always the virus in initial stages can cause more amount of severity.
Then the question arises, if there are going to, maybe there will be a 3rd wave, there will be a 4th wave. We don't know yet as far as the vaccine efficacy is concerned, whether the virus can beat the immune system, the immunity that has been built over a period of last 2 years. We have no conclusive data to determine that. So in view of that, what would be your advice to the tourism industry right now? Because economy needs to get back on its feet. There were domestic tourists coming to Goa in huge numbers. They were coming in. As Nilesh mentioned right now, even within India now we are trying to put in restrictions at the airport. What is your advice as far as the industry is concerned, and to the government at large also, because we need to tread this path very cautiously?
See, if we have to prepare for this Omicron wave or any other wave in the imminent period, so we know that there is a new variant which has come. First thing is not restriction on travel. Restriction will be kept for 1 month, 2 months. Again, we are going to open up, then restrictions will be lifted. Again, the influx will come, and a wave which was supposed to come in Jan will come in March. So, there has to be restrictions, a minimal amount of restrictions. Second, which I would advise personally based on what I have seen patients, is the restriction. The vaccinated people can travel without testing. So vaccinated people also can transmit the virus. Vaccinated people also can get infected. Why the international hype about this virus is uh, the variant can easily escape the immunity provided by the vaccine. So the vaccinated people traveling, assumption is they will not transmit the virus is a wrong idea. So obviously we are doing testing. Do the testing at the borders. Keep a gap of 48 to 72 hours validity. Second, the international travel has to be isolated at this stage. Domestic travel can be allowed at this stage till the doubling of cases. Avoid overcrowding. Of strict COVID appropriate behavior from citizens. If if the cluster of cases are prevented, then the health resources can be easily used well. Now we can easily we have less deaths because we can manage the patients well.
Well, correct.
We can manage the patients well.
There is no overloading of the system.
Overload of the system.
Nilesh Bab, how do you look at this? Because these statistics are quite telling. There is a obviously there is a grave concern, but economy also needs to function. How are you looking at this?
Frankly speaking, if you ask me, unless tourist finds it safe, he is not going to come to Goa. Let's be very, very clear. For that matter, even if somebody gives you free ticket to Europe, if you don't find it safe, you are not going to go. So similarly, we have to see that we have our safety norms in place. We have that COVID appropriate behavior, that is only way forward. We have done the vaccination of all team members. Even most of the Goan population is double vaccinated. So looking into that, I think we would like to remain positive till more data comes in as far as unicorn variant is concerned. Right now, concern is not only for the charter tourism specific. There are a lot of visa issues also, because e-visa the government has announced, but there are restrictions. They are not getting the visas. So those are challenges are also there. But as things pan out, I am sure that the charter movement will start second half of this month. And I think we will learn to deal with it as we have learned to deal with the domestic tourists. Of course, the testing, whatever the norms, whatever health authorities come in, I think we have to follow it up. Like before they board the flight, they have to do RT-PCR test, which they have to air suvidha form, they have to fill in up. Once they land, they have to do test. Again, when they're landing, there is absolutely, if you see presence, what's happening at international airport, there are no COVID appropriate behavior is followed. In fact, that is more concern that that person coming here, because of that crowding, it can spread. So we have to manage that situation also quite well, because we are talking about passenger landing directly into Goa. So once they land into Goa, what are our facilities we are going to give? By chance, if positive, we get the tourist who comes positive, then what type of facilities we'll have? Of course, they will be covered by insurance, everything, but then we'll have to isolate them, we'll have to give them treatment. So that aspect also has looked into it. So I think time will only, as time goes, we'll able to, as we have learned domestic, we'll able to do it.
Data set again, and that is regarding the tourist arrival by different international flights and tourist arrival through cruise ship and average stay time of a tourist in Goa. Now this is very interesting considering the time at which we are right now, December. And if you see that January to December 2018, we had around 3,12,000 tourists. January to December, almost similar, 3 lakh tourists. January to March, it directly drops down to 1,15,000 tourists. And after that, obviously, the things have been completely gone haywire, because there is no question of international flights and international tourists arriving in such large numbers. The next data set is regarding the arrival through cruise ships and average stay time of the tourists. So 2017-18, 29 vessels, almost 43,000 passengers, 18-19, 40 vessels, 51,000 passengers, and 35 and 46,000 passengers. The average stay time of a domestic tourist is 5 days, a foreign tourist is 9 days. So that's a substantial amount of time that a tourist spends in a state, considering the RT-PCR certification is concerned or the way the virus behaves is concerned. Nilesh Bab, looking at this data, how are you analyzing as far as the post-COVID, I'm not calling it post-COVID, but post-second wave growth in our tourism numbers? How are you looking at that growth, and what do those numbers tell us till now?
If you actually look into it, the domestic tourist has been, you are seeing everywhere. The people who used to travel abroad on outbound tours, they have been, Goa, they have made their destination first choice. So that is a plus sign for all of us. There are a lot of weddings, events which were pending for last 2 years has been happening now. So you see all the dates are almost sold out in Goa. Not only in Goa, but even in the place where the weddings happen, maybe Rajasthan. So the situation is quite positive as far as domestic tourists is concerned. International tourists, we have just started allowing the international tourists. Now we get, like if you see the data, we get equal number of tourists or maybe more on the scheduled flights into Goa. Now that has been kept postponed till further notice. But charters, I am sure that they will be allowing charter operations into Goa. And we will see some movement. Like I will just give the statistics for month of December. In month of December, we are expecting 2 flights from UK, that is one from Gatwick Airport and one from Manchester, 2 from Kazakhstan, and Russian flights will start coming from 30th December. So looking into that, this I think we have to start somewhere to understand how things will pan out, because it is a challenge for all of us also, how we are going to see the situation, how we are going to handle the foreign tourists if these test positive, or what are the precautions which will, additional precaution we may need to take it. So I think it will be evolving situation, but we are positive about it.
Nilesh, if we compare the 2020 season with 2021 season, which is the post-second wave vis-a-vis pre-second wave, what has been the difference in terms of numbers?
I think there were absolutely zero numbers if you say, because if you see...
Because we see lot many tourists roaming on the streets.
That's right. For you are talking about domestic tourists,
yes,
right?
I'm talking about domestic
tourists. Domestic, in fact, I feel the data is not out, but if you see, we already have, as far as the flights are concerned, we almost have more than pre-COVID flights into Goa. We have almost 80 plus flights landing into Goa. So overall, there is increased people coming by flight. Similarly, if you see the bus operations have come normal. And what we have been saying is that a lot of people coming by the individual car, which has increased tremendously because of obvious fear of the COVID. So I think sure overall there is an increase in the domestic tourist into Goa. But to keep that balance, I think international tourism is also required. And as our statistics also shows that foreign tourists spends more time into Goa. So it helps the hotel industry or overall tourism industry to have better ARR, and overall it makes more economic sense to them also.
Doctor, let me ask you this question. Considering these statistics, 2 questions. Number one, how should we look at the month of December? Should we invite more tourists, or we should be very, very cautious at this point of time? Because as far as Goa is concerned, most of our population is vaccinated with both the doses also.
So at this stage, if you ask me the restrictions on travel, the domestic travel still can be allowed with the criteria of compulsory RT-PCR tests for vaccinated as well as unvaccinated individuals, and strict early testing if they get symptoms. Many times patients do not test assuming that we are vaccinated and we will never get COVID. So with this ideology, the patients easily transmit the virus even after vaccination to a majority of cases. Even if you allow domestic travel, avoid cluster of cases, avoid overcrowding. If the tourism industry can set certain protocols of giving restrictions to the number of people attending some event or attending a tourist place, or a limit of people eating at a hotel at a time, then probably there can be a decrease in the number of. Yes, we will be able to handle better. Have you seen the South Africa data? You have, and just see the data which has been there. and there has been a multiplication of cases in the last 8 days. So a new variant will multiply within 2 to 3 days. It is not going to stay at a very static period. But if the protocols at international level are not followed, then obviously, because those travelers will mingle with domestic travelers,
Yes.
and there will be a multiplication of cases, which will be difficult to handle.
Yeah, doctor.
The other thing which you should also be knowing, that the vaccinated people, okay, suppose you do RT-PCR at the international or domestic travelers, a person is traveling from Maharashtra to Goa, the RT-PCR which he has done in the before boarding of flight was negative, but there can be transmission during the flight also.
Absolutely.
And the person can become positive later on.
Yeah.
So it is the job of the tourist to see to that if they catch symptoms, to test on day 1 and day 2.
Yeah, very
there
nice.
are good.
Final question, Nilesh Bab. I'm completely out of time, but a very simple question. Doctor suggested that there should not be overcrowding. Can there be a December in Goa without overcrowding?
I think everybody is worried about their safety. Tourists are worried about their safety, and people around also are worried about their safety. Looking into ways we have evolved, I think we are able to manage things quite well. And as an industry, we also don't want second lockdown. So there will be self-restriction if cases goes up, and I'm sure we'll able to manage things far better than what we have been doing in first 2 variants.
Nilesh Bab, Chitralekha, thanks a lot for joining. I'm completely out of time. Keep watching Goa Ahead.